With us today on Island Focus, I have the pleasure of talking with Jay April, who is President and CEO of Akakū on the island of Maui. Hi, Jay.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Lila. It's good to see you again after all these years.
Well, and particularly now when we're celebrating free speech and how important that is to me, but also to community media. What are you folks doing on Maui?
Really, what we're trying to do now, especially since COVID hit, when we realized what a crisis that would be, one of the things we've been trying to do for years is to create a island-wide, or actually when you think of Maui, it's 3 islands, a county-wide daily news program that's basically involves citizens using their phones to submit stories. And luckily for us, the technology is now here for everybody to do that. Everybody posts on Facebook, and they're all different kinds of technology now to move video around. So on March 20th, when the lockdown happened, we turned our entire staff into a daily news operation. And my executive assistant, a former Miss Filipina, Gina Miller, became the anchor. And a couple of the other people that worked here became reporters. And a lot of our volunteers out in the community became what we call Kuleana correspondents. And starting that day, March 20th, we started with coronavirus updates. About a week later, we had a daily half-hour news program that plays about 12 hours a day. We also cover daily news conferences from the mayor's office about coronavirus, giving people essential information and up-to-date and accurate information. We have an Akakū app, and it's downloadable for free, and you can watch our news all over the world every single day, well, weekdays. We go up live at 4, and then we repeat at 7, and we repeat it at midnight and 9 and 10. But on the app, you can watch every single day. Yesterday, we had a couple of our staff members do a wonderful rendition of Imagine by John Lennon, because, today's his birthday. It was just very uplifting. So it's a kind of a nice mix of uplifting, positive news, but also information that people need about coronavirus. It's been very exciting for us. And every day we try to seek out more correspondents. Like Lila, you could send in your report from ʻŌlelo. That would be great. I mean, 2 minutes a week. That's what we'll give you a.
I appreciate, your generosity, not just with ʻŌlelo, but the station is located on the island of Maui. And as you mentioned, the county of Maui also incorporates Molokai and Lanai. So being a tri-island station, how are Molokai and Lanai included in this?
Well, they're included every day. We have an office on Molokai, and Akakū is extremely popular there because we're the electronic media for Molokai. So they get to contribute to the station and to the news, and we find out what's going on there. They find out what's going on here, and it's worked out really good. Lanai is a little bit more difficult because it's sort of like a fiefdom, run by one person. It's incredibly unique and anywhere in the United States. But we get regular dispatches from there. But it's a little bit more challenging on Lanai because it's a whole different world. But we're here to service 3 islands separated by water, and that's not an easy task. But it's really cool. Everybody's included. So Maui Nui, we call it, is a pretty amazing place when it comes to the challenges with respect to news.
And the fact that you've been so innovative and inclusive, that is the essence of community media, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's different. Facebook is evil. 62% of people get their news from Facebook. I mean, think about that. I mean, it's the Wild West. And, Zuckerberg, he doesn't care about you. He cares about harvesting your data. And he brags about that all the time. He'll leave a corporate meeting and he'll yell, "Domination," as he's walking out the door. So brick and mortar public access is so important. This kind of community media is really the last bastion of democratic media left, because we don't have to sell soap. This is not corporate media. It's non-corporate, free, uncensored media, and there's none of that left, really. Every other kind of media you can think about pretty much is corporatized.
When we all speak about free speech, what does that mean in terms of lay language?
Well, it's free speech if somebody doesn't shut you up. It's free speech if you can say what you want to say, obviously within limits. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You should be polite. I mean, I kind of like the Reddit. People who are familiar with Reddit, that website. They have some really good content rules. You know, you got to be nice to each other. You got to be civil. But free speech means no one's telling you to shut up. No one's censoring your message because they want you to sell something or they want to spin it a certain way. Like, for instance, Fox. I mean, Fox is just a mouthpiece for, you know, for the president and for right-wing views. We'll take any views. We're not going to let you be mean to one another, but we will allow everyone to speak. That's the essence of free speech. Everyone can get up on that soapbox and say whatever they want. That's the important thing.
What words of encouragement can you give to our community, not just of Maui, but our whole state?
Just don't be afraid. You know, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Don't be afraid to exercise your creativity. Public access is a canvas. You know, you don't have to imitate broadcast TV. You don't have to put a perfect part in your hair and look like a mannequin to be on TV. You just have to speak from your heart. So if we have more people speaking from their heart and expressing their kuleana and their mana'o, then we're going to be fine. We just need to keep talking to each other, keep the conversation going.
Mahalo for taking the time to be with us, Jay. It was nice to see you again.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us on Island Focus and having the pleasure of meeting Jay April, who is President and CEO of Akakū on Maui. Aloha.